What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with another review for The Real Housewives. The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3, Episode 2. The episode is titled The Elephant in the Room. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss episode number 2 of the Ultimate Girls Trip, shall we? So, you guys, there's something that I did forget to mention in episode 1. So, Marisol is sick, right? She's talking about how her stomach is hurting her. I'm like, girl, it's because of all that god dang on alcohol you drink, right? And then in episode 1, she wanted to talk about the drinks that Pepsi make are so not good because he don't give you just straight alcohol. Marisol, your liver is saying, help me, help me, help me. So I realized that this is giving like Love and Hip Hop's family reunion, how each day someone is going to host some kind of event or host something. So Leah is hosting the so they're going to be going to an elephant sanctuary for the day. So Pepsi went to Leah to tell Leah that she's going to be the one that's going to be hosting the elephant sanctuary. And once again, you guys, I freaking love Leah. So after Pepsi told her she's going to be hosting, taking the ladies to the elephant sanctuary, Leah went down to the spirit house, right? And Leah was basically praying like, God, I am PM. She said, I am PMSing this week, and let me get through it, and me and the girls be in a good space or something like that, right? Also, Candace later that night, Candace is going to be taking the ladies to a drag show. Now, in Thailand, they don't call it a drag. They don't call it drag. They call them lady boys, right? And I feel like we saw this on Housewives before. I feel like the Real Housewives of Dallas went to Thailand one year. I think they did. I definitely believe that they went to Thailand one year, and they talked about the lady boys. So yeah. Leah, they're going to the elephant sanctuary, and then later that night, they're going to the lady boys show. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? So you guys, we see as everybody, they're getting ready to head to the elephant sanctuary. So they passed one place and it said Kamala. And so that brought up a conversation of Portia saying that she did an ancestry and that she has, she has Nigerian in her, right? So then we find out how Heather and Whitney found out that they were cousins, right? So Heather and Whitney were friends first, and then they did a DNA test, right? And turns out that their great grandmother and great grandfather were brother and sister, right? So that's how Whitney and Heather found out that they were cousins. So we see in the other van, Leah is talking to Alexia, and she's telling her, I watched a few episodes of Miami. Now I'm thinking, oh, that's right. Season 5 had not aired, so she only watched season 4. Because she had said she had only watched a few episodes of Real Housewives of Miami, and the fact that she was talking about Herman. Now, Alexia is really getting on my nerves about this situation between she and Herman, right? She wants to keep saying that Adriana said that he died with his lover. Adriana's, and they keep replaying, they play the clip back. Adriana said to Alexia last season that someone came up to her at Herman's funeral and told her that. So Adriana didn't say that that's what happened. She said someone came up to her and told her. I don't like the way that they do Adriana on Miami. It just annoys the shit out of me, right? So let's pause here and move. So they get to the elephant sanctuary. It's something interesting. So my grandmother, she loved elephants. My grandmother is someone who believes that elephants bring good luck, right? So she had an elephant brooch, A lot of stuff in my grandmother's house was all elephant, right? In the kitchen. So she had pretty much everything elephant. because she believed that elephants bring good luck, right? So, me personally, I think elephants, they might be nice to look at in movies and stuff, but in real life, I don't think I would want to go to an elephant sanctuary. I do want to go to Thailand. I'm just not sure if I would go to an elephant sanctuary because, I mean, they can trample over people. They can. And they weigh a whole lot, so they could kill you at the same time. So I don't necessarily know if I would want to go to an elephant sanctuary. Just putting it on the forefront, right? So, they fed the elephants some sugar canes. That sound that Giselle was making, I was like, girl, what is that? It sounded like, I don't know what that sound was. It was horrible, right? So they did that. They Portia. Now, mind you, the woman did say, "Don't touch that one." I know she said because there was a mother and a baby. The mother was, "Don't mess with them because the mother's overprotective of her baby." But I could have sworn that woman said, "Don't touch them, the elephants." But Portia decided she wanted to touch one of them and take a picture. I was like, "Okay, girlfriend, if that elephant stomps on you, then good luck." So Leah is happy to be with this group of ladies because you guys remember on Roni, anytime she would talk about sex, dicks, vaginas, anything like that, Ramona would, shrivel up, right? But these girls are talking about it, so she's cool with it, right? So I jumped ahead of myself. So they put mud all over the elephants. That would have been a no for me because that water was muddy. Then on top of that, one of the elephants took a shit, and I'm like, absolutely not. I kept looking at the water. I'm like, that water is not just brown. That water is different colors, and I don't think I would put my hands in that water and be spreading it on the elephants. So then they started having a mud fight, shit fight with the muddy shit. Like, oh God, no. Portia threw some on Giselle. Then they started throwing it on each other. I was like, absolutely not. So they then went to sit down for lunch, right? So Leah asked the ladies, what is the best thing about being a housewife and what is the worst thing about being a housewife, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys right now who I don't give a damn about. Alexia, Heather, and Whitney. So I don't care about them, so we're gonna knock them out the way. So Candace said the best thing about being a housewife for her is, number one, that they're the second all-black cast. But then the worst thing for her, which I knew she was gonna say, social media. And I understand why, right? They love to say Candace is a terror on social media, but Renna was a terror on social media. Who else? Renna. I think pretty much all of the housewives are terrorists on social media because quite a bit of them are very responsive, right? It's not just Candace. And that'd be my thing. It's not just Candace. It's all of them, right? So Portia says that, the sisterhood and about seeing each other's stories, right? She talked about the fact that, after she had PJ, she went through postpartum depression and she still filmed that season, even though she really didn't want to. So Marisol, she talked about her mom, and I think it was a twofold for her mom. I think it was a twofold, but I think the worst part was that I think she was happy that her mom was on the show, but at the same time she wasn't because she was terrified of the comments that people might say about her mom's face, right? I mean, yes, Mama Elsa's face was disfigured, right? But with Mama Elsa, you could see her spirit and who she was, despite her outwardly appearance, right? And Marisol said what happened with Mama Elsa. Now, when they showed the throwback pictures of Mama Elsa, oh my God, was she beautiful. I just wish that with Mama Elsa, I wish she had known how beautiful she was, right? Because Marisol was saying that her mom had an issue with her heart, so they couldn't put her, under anesthesia because of that. So she couldn't get plastic surgery, so she went and got a lot of fillers in her face, and that's what, disfigured her. Y'all gonna stop with them fillers. That is one thing that I say. Y'all was, ugh. Because those fillers don't make you, they don't make you look anything human like. Fillers, like the fillers in the lips, the fillers in the cheeks and all that kind of stuff. Like look at Black China. Black China just got her fillers removed and she still looks the same. I would not put no fillers in my lips. I won't put no fillers in my lips, my cheeks, my eyes, my nothing. Wherever you can put fillers at, you wouldn't see it in my face. I wouldn't even get Botox. Like I'm afraid of needles. So nah, it ain't for me. But we're gonna pause here and we're gonna move forward. So, Leah. You guys, I really did feel bad for Leah because I remember season 13 of The Real Housewives of New York, and I do remember that so many people on social media was talking negatively about Leah, especially when she was talking about her grandmother. And people like, why don't she go be with her grandmother? People had so many terrible things to say about Leah. I never did because I've lost my grandmother, so I knew the pain that she was going through. I definitely knew that pain that she was going through. So she had to deal with it from the fans. Then she said she said the production company wouldn't let her leave, and then her castmates weren't really supportive. So I do empathize with Leah, and I do feel bad for Leah, right? Heather and Whitney, I am so over these two. So I don't know how this came about, but at one point in the episode, we see these. Oh, I think this was the point where they got back to the house, and Whitney asked Heather to sew her hair in, right? So they were talking about the events that happened in season 3 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So let me know in the comment section, did they follow behind Lisa Barlow? Because that's what it sounded like to me, but I wasn't listening because it's Heather and Whitney, number one, and I didn't watch Salt Lake City, so I can't really speak about it because it sounded confusing as hell to me, right? But let me know again in the comment section what happened in season 3. So we see the ladies as they go out for dinner for that night, right? So remember, Candace is having the Lady Boy show, right? And it's a surprise that she's going to be performing. Now, Candace. I really wish you had rehearsed that performance. That's all I got to say. So she gave all the ladies their Lady Boy names, right? Her name was Petty LaBelle. Giselle's name was Shanita Man. Alexia's was Havana White. Leah's was Judyism. Heather and Whitney was Snow Right and Snow Wrong. Marisol, what was Marisol's? Crystal Globe, or something like that. Crystal Ball. And Portia's was Shateka Man. Oh my God, when she called, I cracked up. But then she came up with some other ones for Giselle. So she said I could have called her Dummy Moore, Anita Stylist. What was it? Anita Stylist, Dummy Moore. It was another one that was, but I loved Anita Stylist. That should have been her name, Anita Stylist, but nope. She named her Shanita Man and Portia Shateka Man. Child, when she said Shateka Man, I lost my shit, right? So we're going to pause here and we're going to wrap up, you guys. Now, let's get into Miss Portia real quick, you guys, because Portia, that story was bullshit. Keeping it 100% with you. That was bullshit, right? So Portia feels that Candace really came up with those names because she told a story about why she gave Giselle her name and Portia her name, right? So, Portia's name, Shateka Man, is because she took Simon from Fallon. So Portia wants to say that she didn't take Simon from Fallon, right? So she said, she met, the producers told her that they want to bring in a new wife, and she met Fallon, and she saw Simon. She felt like she had met him before, but she couldn't place him, right? So then she says that they broke up. Simon and Fallon had broke up, right? And then she said that she went into his DM and told him if he needed anything to let her know, right? So he told her he was fine, and then he said he wanted to go out with her, right? So then she said that she went back to him and said, well, I need to see your divorce papers. So he showed her divorce papers. They were signed. They just hadn't been, they were just sitting on the judge's desk, right? So then somebody says, well, Fallon cheated on him. She says, well, I'm not speaking for her. But then somebody, Giselle says in her interview, being messy, saying, well, allegedly she slept with the pool boy, got pregnant by him. He broke up with her, and him and Portia got together, right? If y'all believe that story, y'all believe it. Let me know if you believe it. I don't believe it, but, Portia was talking about how her fans were upset with her. You're right, because this is one of your fans right here. I completely unfollowed you. Like, I hit the unfollow button on Portia's Instagram. I have not been on Portia's Instagram in, oh my God, that's been almost 2 years now, right? 2 years? Because that happened during a pandemic. I haven't been on Portia's Instagram since then. So, Alexia was telling her story about her and Herman again. I was with Leah. I know people on Twitter are upset about Leah, but I was with Leah. That story is a snooze fest. And then she told them to get drunk because she's bored. I was like, oh my God. And then Marisol wants to chime in, and Leah read her. She's like, girl, you're the one talking about your stomach hurt, but you drink. That's why your stomach hurts. Lay off the alcohol. I was like, oh, okay, Leah. Show up and show out. You guys, let me know what you guys thought down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys, and into the next one. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.